I saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and immediately I want to say that I really liked it. I saw it 3 times. I really liked it. I thought the story was pretty solid. I thought the themes that were present in the movie were very apparent. I feel like sometimes they hit you in the head with it a little bit too much. There's like a specific scene that comes to mind, but I'll cover that later. But overall, I thought it was really nice, and I enjoyed it very much. So the biggest complaint that I've seen from like normies and people online is typically that the film is a 1 to 2 part film. And I know a lot of people around me, even in the Spider-Man circle, that have used that complaint to sort of like downgrade the film's quality. And to that, I have to say, I don't think that's personally fair. I feel like it's acceptable to expect a movie to end once the credits roll, but I feel like if you close yourself off from all other alternatives, you're really just shutting yourself out from any other kind of storytelling that isn't the one you already know. Yes, it is kind of frustrating that we're gonna have to wait like 300 days and definitely more because this movie totally just got fucking delayed. But if you shut yourself off from other kinds of storytelling, I feel like you're not only limiting your own enjoyment, you're also not giving the film enough credit. The second part is coming. The story's not completely done. And even so, if it's not completely done, I still feel like there's a lot of cool things about this film that are able to stand on its own. Overall, I don't want to say whether the story is good or bad because I don't know the full story, but so far I like it and I think it was good, and I had fun watching this film 3 times. Something that I immediately noticed when going into the Spider-Gwen sections of this film, which I thought were really amazing. I loved seeing the references to Gwen Stacy's comic book universe within the movie, especially the scene where she's swinging through the city and it looks very, very similar to a lot of the comic art featured in the comic, specifically the first issue where she's crouching in front of fucking... I was gonna make a joke about it being pink, but I can't do that on the fly. I have to be on script. The content is cringe. The editing saves me so bad. Put in an explosion or something. But something I noticed in Gwen's section of the movie is that it sort of felt like we were putting Gwen in the same spot that Miles was in the first movie, specifically in terms of like how she's treated. There's very, very, very similar film techniques when you compare Into the Spider-Verse and the small sections of Gwen that we get in this movie. If you go back and watch Into the Spider-Verse, you'll notice that Miles Morales has a little musical tone that plays whenever he makes an important step in his journey. Which, if you want to watch a really good video about that, I believe it's by Sideways, and it covers all the music in Spider-Verse and all the cool and fun, interesting things it does. But if you go over and watch Gwen Stacy's standalone portions of the movie, you'll also notice that she has her own musical cue, which I'm gonna play. And of course, a lot of people are throwing up a big fuss over the fact that a lot of trans people are seeing, you know, like themselves and similar struggles that they've gone through within Gwen Stacy's portion of the movie. And if you want my opinion on it, I'm gonna say it's an extremely harmless practice. I don't know if you've ever cared about a character so much that you've done a thing that the kids call the headcanon. Trans people are seeing their own struggles within Gwen Stacy on screen, and at the end of the day, that's not really anything harmful. I've been seeing a lot of like pointless backlash to trans fans who are like seeing this very clear cut like illusion, by the way. Like, if you watched this movie and you've seen all the hints, you've seen all the context, and you're like, no dude, it's impossible. Another thing that I really liked was before the movie went off and got started and started dangling the keys in your face to say, look, oh, it's Spider-Man that you know, it's that one Spider-Man you know. But before they did all that, they actually took a moment to like root you in Miles's family life a little more. And I really enjoy that because it gives this film heart before we go so far away from Miles and everything that's going on back home, that it makes you care about all those things, and it makes you be right there with Miles when he's literally like sprinting for his life trying to get back there. It puts you in the emotional passenger seat right next to the main character, and I thought it was a really good writing choice. And something I really, really want to talk about, this is like one of my favorite Spider people in the whole movie. Spider-Man 2099 was so fucking amazing. I know a lot of people really liked his old design from Into the Spider-Verse, but for the character that 2099 is in this movie, I think this new design does so much of a better job fitting him with the way he's written. In this movie, Miguel O'Hara is this fucking imposing force. He's super fucking menacing. He has anger issues, and his costume doesn't skip a beat. I know when I first saw it, I fucking complained about it or whatever, but that's usually how it fucking goes on this channel. You have to give me 5 months before you can take anything I say seriously. He's got these big fucking red shoulders, just like Miles does in the first film. Everything about him is super like square and geometrical. He's not like your usual Spider-Man where he's got these big white eyes. He's got these black voids that are sometimes given subtle emotion via these red shapes that are on his face. There's like nothing that seeps out of his mask, but when he takes the mask off, he's fucking horrifying. Fucking whispered into Miles's ear while holding him down like this was a porno. I fucking hated it. It was scary. It was not fucking
for him. I wanted to beat his ass.
Why did he do that? I still can't fucking get over that. That was the most devious thing I think I've ever seen anybody do in a Spider-Man film ever. Except for that one time where that guy did the funny dance. You don't belong here. No one fucking helped him. Not one. I can name like, okay, well maybe not 5. I can name a couple Spider-Man off the back of my fucking hand right now that I know for sure would have helped him, okay? A lot of people are already saying this. Fuck you. Spider-Man Edge of Time. I haven't put much thought into this topic. We gotta talk about the fucking, we gotta talk about the demon in the closet that's literally spent every night haunting Marvel editorial. Peter B. fucking Parker and his goddamn baby. I fucking love these two. I don't have anything else to say. Actually, I do. I lied. So when I told you earlier that I feel like the themes of fatherhood are kind of bonked over your fucking head a little too hard, there's this one specific scene with Peter B. Parker and Miles Morales that I thought was really sweet, even if the themes are hammered over your head. And it's when Peter B. Parker is chasing Miles Morales and he's able to get him alone, and he just straight up tells Miles that the reason that he had Mayday was because of him. Now, the entire last movie was spent telling you this, and I don't know, I feel like it kind of like steps on the first movie's legacy a bit if it has to like straight up tell you like the end of a character's like character arc like right here and just like hold it out in front of your face like Peter did with the baby. I do love how much they show you that like Peter and Miguel have like previous relationships in the movie. One of my favorite things is seeing 2 different Spider-Man team up. It makes my brain, you know, shoot out that little chemical what the kids call dopamine, and that shit gets me higher than a kite. I'm like a crack addict, but I watch Spider-Man. It is wishful thinking to ask for these two to get like an entire team-up movie where they do nothing but hoot and hurrah together and be great spider pals, but I want it. I just want it. Not to mention the fucking art in this film. Oh shit, what the fuck?
The fuck out the way.
Oh fuck.
Howdy.
Oh, I'm back.
Feel me? Alright, the name is Trey. It's right here. Love that.
I gotta fix the green screen.
Why you gotta...
I gotta fix the green screen.
So anyway, the name's Trey. Just in, you know, Trey for Miles. Marvel, wake up! I'm not in the right suit. Hold on. Come here, do an ad. So move out the way.
You wanted me to do an ad? Jesus. Trey has a shirt shop called Stitch Me In. The link is behind me.
42!
Ow! Stitch Me In 42. It's either behind me, it's in front of me. I don't know where it is. Please go buy a shirt, because at some point we're hoping to do a PSM merch drop. And if you get a shirt now, it'd be pretty cool, and it would be very encouraging to us to let us know that you are very invested in this shop's future, and it would be nice and stuff. And you get a t-shirt. The t-shirts are only like what?
They're like $32.48.
They're like $32.48.
They're $32.42.
$32.42.
Something like that.
Please go get yourself a shirt at Stitch Me In 42 Shopify The link is on screen and in the description. Just go click it.
Ah!
All right, so he's gonna come. He's gonna.
Ah!
Oh my God!
What the way?
You were on the other side of the room.
Anyways, let's talk about the color first. Let's get to the biggest problem of the movie that just started with bread. With bread, let's talk about Spot. All right. As soon as he comes in, things are very bright and happy in Miles' universe. We are in the 1610 universe, but things are big. They're still in the first movie. He still has this like aberration to him where it's very like 3D. I very much love the color of this movie. Things are still in the Ben-Day dot style. Things still have the lines, but Spot is very much white with circles. I don't mean that in a weird way, but he is. He's very chrome white. It's like very white.
Cracker.
Whoa! I didn't say that. But things as the movie progresses, Spot does change. It's like he goes from this white to this black now with color. Things are always moving onto him, and I really love the fact that they didn't keep it to one thing. He's very stringy, like cheese. Very stringy. Everything that's moving in his face, I love it because the colors change. It matches the aberration that Miles almost has and that connection that they build once the movie progresses. More like, here's the arch enemy and here's Miles. Here they are right together and now they're paired. They become one. They become one. He's now the villain of this film. At the end, he lifts himself up into the air. He is now black, especially with the speckles and the lines always moving and the doodles drawn on. I love that they're doodles. I love that the lines on his face, they're more like scribbles like a little kid does. And in that same essence, that's how Spot acts. It's like this one act of just him becoming himself, and now that he just wants to be a villain, it's like, you hurt my feelings, and I'm going to talk about it by destroying your whole family. Without blinking. Because I don't have a face.
Yeah, I was about to say he can't blink.
No face. Just death! Anyways, let's continue on with color. Gwen's universe. This is the most prettiest universe in this movie I've ever seen. I don't care. I don't care about Mountbatten. Let's get to Gwen's universe. It's beautiful, it's colorful, it's bright, and it's pastels. The work they do on this movie, I know they were crying over because that amount of detail, horrible! But it's great. But using the same way, let's go to the color. It's bright, things are sharp, but they have emotion. The biggest thing about this movie is that the colors have emotion. Let's go to green first. Green is the unknown. If you go back to the movie, go back and watch it. Yes, we saw it 3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
Now times that by 7 and 2. Anyway, going to green is the unknown. Green is the color of life and beauty, but in this sense, in this Across the Spider-Verse movie, it means confusion. It means the emotions that you're feeling, you don't know where to put them. Green is the light of confusion. Let's go to blue now. Blue being Spider-Man's color. One of Spider-Man's colors is blue. But in this movie, blue means I don't know what I'm doing, but I think it's right. I think. It's an assumption. It's a very negative color to this movie. Blue is not the color of like light and calmingness now. It goes back to the fact that there is danger present. Blue is the color of danger and is the color of thinking you are right but you're wrong. According to like the movie with Gwen and her father, they are both head to head. They don't understand each other. But her father is more on the side of, I think what I'm going to stick to is my job, and I think I know this is right. But every time that color flashes, there's always a white lining to it, meaning there's danger within this decision. Blue is not the color of safety no more. It's not calm. It's not cool. It's not collected. No, it means I want to take something out. And it doesn't need to be. But this is what the film is showing us, is that they're in that confusion of green. The other color to that and the other dangerous side of it is blue. Now let's get to red. Red is the most emotional color in this movie. It means I don't know what's going on, but I'm scared. I don't understand things, but it's like there's a calmingness within it, but it's still everything is on fire and I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's going on. There's a bunch of emotions and all I got is red. On some Tata 41 stuff. We see in red. The biggest thing about the red is it's not always bleeding in orange. When it's bleeding, it means the red, it's slowly like changing. Which in this movie, there is a bunch of 42 changes. But the thing about it, it's bleeding. It's like all of these emotions are coming out and they're flowing out of Gwen, especially when she's dealing with the fact that her father is now like against her. Things bleed out and they either bleed to a different color or they bleed to black. When it bleeds to black, it means that I'm done. I don't know what to do anymore, and it's a flash of reality. When it goes and it bleeds into a different color, it means things are always changing and I don't know which way my head should turn. There's a whole bunch of this in the movie. Now, when we get to other universes, they shine shadows of light. They don't shine the whole screen because we're not in the same universe. They shine the light onto the character. That blue is more dangerous. When it comes to Miguel and Miles, Miguel is blue, Miles is forever red. He's always saying that I don't think this is right, but there's a whole bunch of emotions here, but things aren't clear. You just told me about the cannons that I've had, and now I feel some type of way, so I'm red. But with Miguel, things have to be this way, so I'm going to remain blue. Now, everyone who's on Miguel's side, they have a hint of blue, or they have their own version of blue, and they always cover that character in the whole color. On Miles' side, if they feel that intimacy or that, like, emphasized emotion towards him and they don't know what to do, it kind of shines a light of red and blue. But Miles, when he's talking about his decision in his life, it's always red. I love that. Because, you know, got the do-rag on. Yes, I wear this with my mask. Protect your hair. I'm black. I'm black. But okay, what can I do? Anything that I want to, like, touch on is, like, dipping into Miles' life. He regards that same color when he's in a different universe as well. But they're changed. It's always inverse. But I love the connection back to the first movie, especially when he's in a whole different universe and he finally realizes it. We're going back to that kind of like jingle of things, but the whistle part, especially like with the security guard, it comes back because Miles is now like, where the fuck am I? Where? I love it because it's like, even though he's in a different universe, that color still is present. It's more, what? It's not green, it's yellow. It's more yellow when it's supposed to be green of the unknown. They change it to yellow. It doesn't matter. The color is important in this movie, and I need you to know that. I think that's about it, though. Anyways, he's gonna come back in now. The fuck, Kai?
I plugged it back in.
What the fuck, Kai?
Plugged it back in.
What the fuck? Ooh. I need to be turned around.
Do you want me to turn you?
Hey.
Spider-Punk. I fucking love Spider-Punk in this film. Spider-Punk is a character that I have, like, not a loose familiarity with, but he's someone I've read a lot of the comics for, which aren't a lot. There's only, like, a few issues with Hobie Brown where he's the main focus.
Obi Brown.
This is ridiculous. I let you onto my show once! But I love Hobie Brown. And to be honest, I'm not the best person to ask about how you should handle Hobie Brown. So I had no clue going into this movie how Hobie was going to be handled, how he was going to sound, how he was going to look and move. But to be honest, I've said so many times when talking about Spider-Verse before the movie came out that I was so worried, I was so scared, I was pissing my pants about how they were going to handle it. I should have just known to trust Sony Animations this whole time. And you know what? After this, I'll never doubt him again. Spider-Punk was absolutely phenomenal. But that being said, I was the first person to go on the internet and make demeaning jokes about capitalism in spandex. So be fucking careful before you hold this man up on a pedestal, because I did it first.
He shot on the establishment.
I did. And I want to talk about a little bit of controversy before I wrap this up. People were not happy about how Ben Reilly was handled. Up until the release of this film, when it was confirmed that Ben Reilly was going to be in this movie, people were fucking excited. Because the last couple bits of Ben Reilly content that we've gotten before the release of this movie were liquid dog shit. Put a picture of liquid dog shit on the screen behind me. Ah! Essentially, in the movie, Ben Reilly is sort of treated as this like edgy '90s joke. He's sort
Perfect.
yeah, he's ridiculous. And the way they write him in this film makes it sound like he was never an enjoyable character, and he was always just this weird, like edgy, melodramatic, annoying. And that's just not how Ben Reilly is. If you pick up a comic book. I understand the need to like distort some of these characters into comedic figures for the sake of the movie, especially since.
Knock this shit down.
What? Oh, fuck! Wait, I didn't notice. It's okay. I don't need the green screen, even though it revolutionized my content and brought me out of the rut.
What the fuck?
So I understand the need to like distort some characters into like comedic figures, but also at the same time. Maybe you shouldn't have done that with someone as touchy as Ben Reilly. Maybe someone a little bit more unknown. Someone with way less of a fan base that would get upset. But I think a lot of people have to understand that not everyone can be a main character. So unfortunately, Ben Reilly is going to get sidelined and he's just going to become one of the comedic figures in the movie. Hopefully, if you Spider-Man fans are lucky, which we never are, you're going to get sensational Spider-Man in the next film, who's all chill. And isn't like cringe.
Perfect pose. Oh, my knee.
And one more thing. I know I said one more thing last time, but one more thing. I really love that this movie covers the Miles isn't Spider-Man argument. This is not something I expected this movie to do, especially because the people who propagate this argument are... I don't want to say idiots because I made a video where I was nice.
Idiot!